from Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu that will make your day 24 News Radio.
Good evening, welcome, and thank you very much for joining us on the 24 News Update. My name is Olushola Oyewole. The State Governor, Mr. Abiodun Oyebanji, has condemned the recent political violence in the state, saying the security of life and property remains his top priority. The governor, who in a broadcast revealed that some individuals had outsiders to launch false media campaigns against the government, which escalated into violent attacks, described the incidents as unacceptable, noting that Ekiti has remained peaceful for well over 2 years. Oyebanji urged all political participants to act responsibly, avoid provocation, and respect the law, as they assured citizens that security agencies are on alert to maintain peace and order. He also encouraged residents to continue their daily activities without fear, while reminding them that roads under repair should not be used to create unrest. The governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to development, including road construction, school renovation, healthcare, agriculture, and food security, saying the prevalent peace and progress in Ekiti must be preserved. Meanwhile, the wife of the state governor, Dr. Olayemi Abiodun Oyebanji, has appealed to members of the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC Ekiti State Chapter to continue to stand by the administration of Governor Oyebanji and reciprocate its people-oriented policies and programs with support for the second term in office. Mrs. Oyebanji made the appeal while hosting the leadership of the NLC at her office in Ado-Ekiti. She commended the Labour leaders for conducting themselves with decorum and steering clear of partisan activities that could jeopardize the progress of the state. Mrs. Oyebanji stressed that industrial harmony remained critical to achieving the administration's development agenda. In his remarks, Comrade Kolakbo Olatunde praised the administration's commitment to workers' welfare, particularly in the areas of prompt salary payment, of palliatives, and infrastructure across the state. Of the NLC Women's Wing, Mrs. Badegwega, commended the governor's work under her WOW Foundation, which she noted had positively impacted widows, orphans, and the aged, as well as other vulnerable groups. Governor Oyebanji for giving a voice to the voiceless and hope and children with disabilities. She noted that the governor's commitment to inclusive education had restored confidence in many families step towards strengthening the state's education sector and promoting inclusive learning for all children. On residents to participate actively in the ongoing voter registration exercise. In a statement jointly signed by the chairperson, Mrs. Adewumi Ademiju, and the secretary, Mrs. Fumi Falaye, the association stressed that voter registration remains the first step towards meaningful participation in governance and democratic processes. Mrs. Ademiju noted that women, who make up a significant portion of the electorate, must seize the opportunity to intensify awareness campaigns before the exercise closes. The association reaffirmed its commitment to promoting inclusive governance, empowering women, and amplifying their voices in the political space. The Peace Corps of Nigeria (PCN) has reaffirmed its unwavering support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, particularly in its efforts to combat insecurity and advance national development. This pledge was made during a courtesy visit to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, by the National Commandant of the Corps, Dr. Dixon Ako. The highlight of the visit was the formal presentation of a Memorandum of Understanding between the PCN and the federal government. The document, signed by the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, and Dr. Ako, formally recognizes the Corps' activities nationwide. This milestone represents the first time in the organization's 30-year history that such formal recognition has been achieved. Dr. Ako commended President Tinubu for demonstrating a genuine commitment to the security and welfare of Nigerians within the first 2 years of his administration. He emphasized that ensuring peace and stability requires a collective effort, with all stakeholders contributing to the protection of life and property. The PCN has pledged to complement the renewed hope agenda by mobilizing its vast structure across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. In his response, Senator Akume lauded the National Commandant and his team for aligning with the vision of the Tinubu administration. He pledged to convey the message of solidarity and commitment to the President, highlighting the importance in achieving national development and security goals. The Peace Corps of Nigeria's reaffirmation of support for President Tinubu to Benue State, where the report has it that the Benue State government has banned graduation parties for kindergarten, nursery, and primary schools in the state. The Acting Commissioner, Ministry of Education and Knowledge Management, Mrs. Helen Nambate, told newsmen in Makurdi that the 14 schools would be sanctioned. Nambate said schools might be closed temporarily for failure to implement the prohibited parties. That the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ife Federal Constituency, Osun State, activities. The party in a communique also disclosed that it has no confidence in the leadership of its former National Secretary and board member, Professor Wale Oladipo, for hobnobbing with opposition members. The news is coming to you from 24 News Radio and Television at Duikiti. You can download our app on Google Play Store or join us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. And now on to the rest of the news. Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri has approved the appointment of Dr. Wisdom Sawyer as the new head of service in the state. The announcement was contained in a statement by the governor's chief press secretary, Mr. Daniel Alabra, in Yenagoa. Served as permanent secretary at the Ministry of Health, succeeds Mrs. Biobelemoye Charles Onyema, who retired on August 31. Born on May 14, 1970 in Odi Community, Kolokuma, Opokuma local government area, Sawyer joined the Bayelsa State Civil Service on June 8, 1998 as a medical officer. And moving on this evening, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to strengthening international partnerships and aligning its foreign relations with evolving global trends in trade, politics, and culture. The president, who received the Vice President of the Republic of Colombia, Francia Marquez, at the State House in Abuja, noted that global economic volatility and shifting international policies will necessitate new partners for shared prosperity. Tinubu assured the delegation of senior government signed with Brazil on aviation and consular issues with Colombia. And now moving on to Saudi Arabia, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, Kano State Zonal Command, has taken custody of 12 rescued victims of human trafficking, all of whom are female and aged between 15 and 50. The zonal commander of NAPTIP confirmed the development in Kano while receiving the victims from the Kano State Hisba Board, which carried out the rescue operation in collaboration with the agency. The victims accepted in Karota Luxurious Park, Hotoro West, and onward to Saudi Arabia for suspected labor exploitation. And from Ghana comes the report that President John Dramani Mahama has dismissed the Chief Justice of Ghana following the outcome of a high-level investigation into allegations of falsifying judicial records and misusing public funds. A 5-member commission chaired by a Supreme Court judge and set up by Mahama top judicial officer for removal. And now on to Sudan. Killing an estimated 1,000 people, according to a rebel. The Sudan Liberation Movement Army confirmed the disaster in the Mara Mountains area of Darfur. The rebel group said the landslide struck after days of heavy rainfall in the area, and the village of Tarasin was completely leveled to the ground, leaving only one survivor. The United Kingdom's Labour government has said it was suspending a scheme enabling registered refugees to bring family members into the country amid swelling support for the far right in opinion polls. UK Home Secretary Yvette Cooper announced that she was temporarily suspending new applications to the Refugee Family Reunion Board as the government draws up new rules set to be introduced by spring next year. Under the current system, an asylum seeker granted indefinite leave to remain in the country can bring in children under the age of 18 and their partner if they can prove they have been in a relationship for at least 2 years. And now on to Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin has blamed the West for igniting the war in Ukraine by years of Western provocation. Speaking at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization (SCO) summit in the Chinese city of Tianjin, Putin accused NATO of destabilizing the region and dismissed claims that triggered the war. Putin said, "What a key driver of the war," reiterating that Russia's security concerns must be addressed before any peace deal can be reached. And now, news. Oshuala has become the subject of an imminent transfer from Bay FC to Saudi Women's League side Al Hilal. According to The Athletic, Oshuala arrived in Saudi Arabia on Monday to undergo medical examinations ahead of the transfer in 1.5 years after joining Bay FC. She was also not part of Bay FC's squad for their 2-1 defeat against Angel City on Monday night. The Athletic added that Al Hilal completed the agreement for the Nigerian international striker. And with that report from the world of sports, we've come to the end of the news updates today. Thanks so much for joining us, and do keep tuning at Ekiti. Good evening, and do have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.
From up to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu, Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will